Welcome back to our channel, where we help you stay prepared in a world filled with uncertainty. Today's video is not about fear, it's about action. A home invasion is one of the most terrifying threats you could face, and in those critical moments, your preparation will mean the difference between safety and catastrophe. This isn't a casual checklist. It's a comprehensive breakdown of 14 battle-tested defense strategies to turn your home into an impenetrable fortress. From the ground up, we'll cover everything you need to know to keep your family safe, your property secure, and any threat at bay. Let's dive in, because your safety starts now. 1. Decoy techniques. Create a deceptive perimeter to confuse and deter intruders. When we talk about making your home an unappealing target, we're not just talking about physical barriers or fancy alarms. We're talking about messing with an intruder's mind, creating confusion, and wasting their precious time. Let's get into the gritty details of decoy techniques, a method as psychological as it is strategic. First, you'll want to install dummy entry points around your property. These could be faux doors, windows, or even cleverly painted plywood sections that look like entrances but lead nowhere. A desperate intruder wasting time trying to breach a fake door is time you can use to prepare, call for help, or confront them from a superior position. Next up, hide in plain sight with landscaping tricks. Ever heard of hostile architecture? Use hedges and bushes designed to funnel movement toward bottlenecks where you've installed motion detectors or cameras. Mix in thorny plants like roses or holly, not just for aesthetics, but because they create physical discomfort when touched. Combine these with obvious distractions, like a highly visible fake safe filled with worthless junk, left out in a garage or shed. Intruders think they've struck gold, wasting time while your real valuables remain hidden. Here's where it gets even more devious. Auditory decoys. Set up speakers or devices programmed to emit sounds like barking dogs, footsteps, or indistinct conversations at irregular intervals. When an intruder hears activity inside your home, they'll think twice about risking confrontation. For the next level of confusion, integrate false pathways in your yard with trails that appear to lead to easy access points, but instead end at impassable barriers or cul-de-sacs reinforced with barbed wire. Consider the appearance of chaos as a tactic. Scatter broken tools, defunct appliances, or scraps of lumber strategically around the outside of your home to make it look neglected, unmaintained, or even abandoned, a place not worth their time or effort. When paired with the unmistakable signs of real surveillance, like fake cameras alongside real ones, the effect is a cocktail of doubt, fear, and wasted effort that will have any intruder rethinking their decisions long before they reach your doorstep. Let their frustration be your first line of defense. 2. Deploying obstacle zones. Make intruders navigate a maze of misery. Obstacle zones are a home defense strategy that forces intruders to waste time, energy, and resources as they attempt to access your home. Think of this as turning your property into a tactical nightmare for anyone trying to breach it. Start by strategically layering obstacles in your yard and around your home. Begin with basic terrain manipulation: gravel paths, uneven flagstones, or loose stones. Why gravel? Because it's noisy. Every step an intruder takes becomes a broadcasted announcement, alerting you while simultaneously betraying their position. Go further by integrating tactical landscaping. Trenches filled with thorny plants like barberry, pyracantha, or agave force intruders to slow down, navigate around, or risk injury. For an additional challenge, line pathways with trip hazards like decorative but irregularly placed rocks or low garden barriers. Now, amplify the difficulty with man-made obstacles. Portable barricades, such as movable planters filled with concrete, can be placed in driveways and walkways to restrict vehicle access. Inside your home, think of areas where you can install furniture arrangements that serve dual purposes: a cozy aesthetic for daily life, but a barricade in waiting during emergencies. But don't stop at the obvious. Add invisible defenses like slick surfaces. Non-toxic but slippery coatings on external railings or fences make climbing nearly impossible, while at ground level, planting dense patches of tall grass or reeds creates a natural entanglement. For more aggressive measures, install caltrop strips, sharp, pointed deterrents placed discreetly in high-risk zones. These are particularly effective in concealed areas like behind shrubbery or under windowsills where intruders may attempt entry. Incorporate tactical sound barriers. Strategically place wind chimes, rustling metal strips, or even alarm-triggered noise devices to create chaotic soundscapes when disturbed. The louder and more confusing the auditory feedback, the more unnerved and disoriented your unwelcome guest will become. The key here is to make every square inch of your property a time-consuming, frustrating gauntlet of deterrence. Remember, time is your greatest ally. The longer it takes for an intruder to approach, the more opportunities you have to prepare, respond, or call for backup. 3. Psychological warfare. Turn your home into a house of horrors for intruders. Why stop at physical deterrence when you can wage psychological warfare against intruders? Your home can become a fortress of fear, leveraging the primal instincts of unease, paranoia, and self-preservation. Begin by creating an air of unpredictability. Install automated randomized lighting systems that turn lights on and off in various rooms at irregular intervals. Pair this with random audio playback devices inside and outside your home that mimic human activity. Think footsteps, voices, or even a dog barking. Intruders thrive on certainty, and your job is to shatter that. Take things up a notch with decoy inhabitants. Cardboard cutouts placed strategically behind windows or mannequin silhouettes with motion-triggered movement mechanisms can make it appear as though someone is awake and active even when the house is empty. Add a layer of visual confusion by planting reflective markers or motion-activated strobe lights around the perimeter of your home. The sudden glare disorients intruders and heightens their sense of exposure. For nighttime defense, install thermal detection lights that react to body heat rather than motion. When an intruder triggers these lights, they know they've been detected even though you're still watching from the shadows. Want to dial up the intimidation factor? Use tactical signage designed to spook rather than warn. Instead of the typical "Beware of Dog" sign, use something like "Premises protected by enhanced deterrent systems," or "Unauthorized entry may result in detainment." Ambiguity breeds anxiety. Make intruders question their decision to enter. Have pre-recorded warnings broadcast through hidden outdoor speakers when motion is detected. A stern voice saying, "You have been seen, leave immediately," or something cryptic like, "Do not take another step," can send shivers down anyone's spine. Follow this with remote-triggered noises, like the sound of a pump-action shotgun or guard dogs barking ferociously. The goal here is simple. Make them believe that choosing your home as a target was the worst decision they've ever made. 4. Fortified safe zones. Create impenetrable retreats inside your home. If the outer defenses fail, or if an intruder manages to breach your home, having fortified safe zones ensures your family's safety while you regain control of the situation. Start by designating a room or multiple rooms that will act as a safe retreat during a crisis. These rooms must be strategically located, preferably far from the most vulnerable entry points, and designed to withstand prolonged sieges. Begin with door reinforcement. Install steel core doors with heavy-duty locks and door braces that can resist battering. Add a peephole camera or internal monitor so you can observe the outside hallway without opening the door. The walls of your safe room should be fortified with ballistic-resistant panels or reinforced drywall. These can stop or at least slow down bullets, buying you critical time. Inside the room, stock a comprehensive survival kit. This should include water, non-perishable food, a first aid kit, flashlights, and battery backups for your devices. Keep a secondary communication system like a two-way radio or burner phone in case intruders disable primary phone lines. Don't forget tools for self-defense. This could include a firearm, pepper spray, or even a taser. For air circulation, consider a dedicated air filtration system or an emergency air supply in case of fire or gas attacks. Install hidden compartments in walls or furniture for storing emergency items like additional weapons, ammunition, or backup communication devices. To ensure privacy and security, consider soundproofing the room so that intruders cannot detect movement or communication inside. Add multiple escape routes. A safe room isn't just about staying put. It's about having options. If feasible, install a hidden hatch or tunnel leading to another part of the house or directly outside. Even a high-quality rope ladder for upper floors can be the difference between entrapment and freedom. Your safe room isn't just a hiding spot. It's your fallback command center, fully equipped to outlast and outmaneuver any threat that breaches your outer defenses. Fortify it, stock it, and make it your ultimate line of survival. 5. Perimeter defense with booby traps, passive deterrents, that work overtime. When it comes to home defense, booby traps can be your silent sentinels. Non-lethal but highly effective deterrents that keep intruders guessing and second-guessing every step they take. The key here is strategy and creativity. Start with the perimeter of your property and install tripwire systems that trigger alarms, bright lights, or even noisemakers like sirens or blank shotgun shells. These traps don't have to cause harm. Their goal is to disorient and expose any intruder trying to move undetected. Next, employ camouflage deterrents. For instance, a seemingly ordinary flower bed could conceal a motion-activated sprinkler system. Few things throw off an intruder like being suddenly soaked, especially if the water is dyed with a washable UV solution that makes them easily identifiable under blacklight later. Pair this with hidden motion-triggered nets or snares placed around areas with poor visibility. Even if they don't physically restrain the intruder, they cause panic and confusion, making them reconsider their choices. For added psychological impact, consider pressure-sensitive noise devices. Lay inconspicuous mats or tiles near entry points, so when stepped on, they emit loud, jarring noises like glass breaking or metallic screeches. Intruders don't know if they've actually caused a commotion or if they've just activated a warning system. In areas with dense foliage, you can take it up a notch with thorn barriers or hidden obstacles, such as strategically placed chicken wire that tangles feet and slows progress. If you live in a rural or large property, deploy natural-looking spike strips made from sharpened wooden stakes or concealed boards with protruding nails, ensuring they're placed safely away from paths used by your family. And don't forget about false doors or windows rigged with decoy alarms or noise devices. When an intruder interacts with these, they'll assume your entire home is similarly fortified, discouraging further attempts. The beauty of booby traps is their versatility. They work passively, require minimal maintenance, and let you sleep soundly, knowing your defenses are always active. 6. Advanced layered lighting. Use illumination as a weapon. Lighting is more than a convenience. It's a weapon in home defense. With layered lighting strategies, you can create zones of illumination that disrupt an intruder's vision, reveal their position, and limit their options. Start by installing motion-activated floodlights along every entry point and pathway, but don't stop there. Enhance the effect by integrating strobe-capable lights. A burst of strobe lighting disorients intruders, making it harder for them to see while simultaneously exposing their location to you and your surveillance systems. To amplify security, use color-coded lighting zones. For instance, red lighting in vulnerable areas like windows or sheds can serve as a subtle warning system, while bright white lights flood key areas like doors and driveways. For larger properties, install solar-powered pathway lights with motion-triggered capabilities. These stay dim to conserve energy, but flare up brightly when someone approaches. Take it to the next level with interior lighting automation. Install a system that randomizes light patterns inside your home. Paired with automated curtains or blinds, it creates the illusion of activity, even when you're not there. Another effective tool is spotlight drones. When triggered, these drones take off and hover above intruders, illuminating them and capturing their movements with onboard cameras. For added psychological impact, integrate sound with lighting triggers. Imagine an intruder activating a light that also sets off a deep, ominous humming sound or blaring audio warnings. Lastly, don't underestimate the power of UV-enhanced lighting traps. These lights reveal footprints or handprints from anyone who's been sprayed with a UV-reactive deterrent earlier in their approach. The ultimate goal is to use lighting to control the battlefield, ensuring you always have the upper hand, while making the intruder feel utterly exposed and vulnerable. 7. Customizable perimeter alarms, beyond basic noise deterrents. If you think alarms are just about making noise, think again. The next evolution in customizable perimeter alarms goes far beyond your standard alert system, offering highly adaptive and versatile solutions tailored to your home's unique vulnerabilities. Start by installing laser tripwire systems around the outer edges of your property. These invisible beams trigger alarms silently or audibly, depending on your preference. Silent alerts notify you discreetly, giving you time to assess the threat, while loud alarms can startle and deter. Integrate pressure pad sensors into pathways, porch steps, and entry areas. These trigger specific responses such as localized alarms, floodlights, or even recorded warnings. For larger properties, consider boundary alarms that create virtual fences using wireless systems. When breached, these can send immediate alerts to your smartphone or monitoring device, ensuring you're always in the know. One of the most innovative options is the audio decoy system. Instead of a generic alarm, program the system to emit sounds like aggressive dogs barking, a shotgun cocking, or even simulated police radio chatter. These audio cues don't just startle, they actively intimidate. Additionally, for urban settings, invest in vibration sensors placed on fences or walls. These pick up subtle movements, alerting you before the intruder even steps onto your property. Finally, for rural or wooded properties, trip alarms loaded with blanks or noisemakers are a fantastic choice. These don't just alert you, they also create a massive psychological deterrent for anyone sneaking through unlit areas. Alarms should be layered, meaning multiple types are used in conjunction to create a network of overlapping security. With customizable features, you can tailor these systems to address specific weak points, leaving no part of your home vulnerable. 8. Defensive landscaping. Turn your yard into an obstacle course of survival. Your yard isn't just decorative, it's a defensive battlefield waiting to be optimized. Defensive landscaping turns natural elements into formidable barriers, slowing down or outright deterring potential intruders. Start with bio-barriers like dense, thorny hedges. Plants like hawthorn, blackthorn, and bougainvillea not only look beautiful but make it nearly impossible for anyone to pass through without painful consequences. Next, focus on open zones of exposure. Clear large trees or tall bushes near windows and doors to eliminate hiding spots, creating open sightlines where anyone approaching your home is visible from multiple angles. For additional deterrence, install gravel beds or crushed rock pathways that crunch loudly underfoot, broadcasting the presence of anyone sneaking around. In larger yards, introduce strategic fencing layouts. Combine tall, solid fences with layered zones of lower, thorn-topped barriers to slow movement. Place hidden ditches or moats around the fence line, shallow enough to avoid accidents but deep enough to trip up anyone attempting a breach. Add raised flower beds or retaining walls, which act as both decorative elements and defensive structures that can block or funnel movement. For advanced landscaping, integrate tactical water features like ponds or streams. These features can be beautiful while also forcing intruders to reveal themselves as they navigate uneven, slippery terrain. And don't overlook hidden cameras embedded in landscaping elements, such as fake rocks or birdhouses. These provide constant surveillance without alerting the intruder. Use illumination as part of your landscaping strategy. Solar-powered garden lights not only make your property more appealing, but serve as a passive deterrent, especially when combined with motion-activated features. Defensive landscaping transforms your yard into an uninviting labyrinth, ensuring intruders face maximum resistance before they even reach your home. 9. Tactical escape routes, hidden exits for maximum survival advantage. While fortifying your home is essential, it's equally important to have tactical escape routes in case the situation becomes untenable. These routes aren't just about sneaking out, they're about ensuring you can retreat quickly, safely, and without detection. Start by identifying hidden pathways within your property that lead to less obvious exits. Basements, attic crawl spaces, or even a concealed door behind a piece of furniture can serve as starting points for these routes. For homes with basements, consider installing a subterranean exit. This could be a tunnel leading to a shed, detached garage, or even a covered point in your yard. If digging is impractical, add concealed egress windows with decorative landscaping to keep them hidden from casual view. For above-ground homes, a drop-down escape ladder hidden in a false gutter or attic compartment can allow you to quickly descend to the ground floor. In urban areas, utilize false walls or bookcases to conceal escape doors. These doors can lead to a hallway, secondary staircase, or an adjacent room that provides a direct path to an exterior exit. Rural homes can benefit from outdoor escape routes, such as pathways concealed by hedges, fences, or trellises. Strategically placed plants can make it nearly impossible for someone outside to notice the route. To enhance these escape routes, add emergency supplies like flashlights, weapons, and communication devices at key points along the path. Equip each exit with a panic button system that triggers distractions, such as sirens or strobe lights, behind you to confuse or slow down anyone in pursuit. If you have the space and resources, install diversion tunnels that lead to false exits, forcing any pursuer to waste time following dead ends. Tactical escape routes give you the upper hand, ensuring you always have an exit strategy no matter how bad the situation gets. 10. Panic rooms with advanced features. The modern command center. Panic rooms are no longer just for the wealthy or paranoid. They are essential for any serious home defense strategy. But a basic reinforced room isn't enough anymore. You need a modern command center outfitted with advanced features to outlast any threat. Start with reinforced materials for the walls, such as steel, concrete, or ballistic-grade panels. These ensure that the room is resistant to firearms, explosions, or forced entry. The door should have multiple locking mechanisms, such as deadbolts, electronic locks, and even biometric scanners for quick access. Inside, set up state-of-the-art surveillance systems with feeds from every camera on your property. Equip the room with a large monitor or tablet that allows you to track intruders' movements in real time. Install backup communication systems, including two-way radios, a landline, and a satellite phone. Add a separate internet connection or hotspot for access to emergency services or information during a crisis. To keep the panic room functional in long-term emergencies, install independent ventilation systems with air filtration. This protects you from smoke, gas, or other contaminants. Add backup power solutions such as a solar generator or deep-cycle batteries to keep the lights, ventilation, and electronics running for days if needed. Stock the room with survival essentials, including water, food, first aid kits, and weapons. For personal defense, consider non-lethal options like pepper spray or tasers alongside firearms. Finally, include diversionary tactics like sound machines or flashing lights that can be triggered remotely to disorient intruders while you remain safely locked away. With the right setup, a panic room becomes more than just a hiding spot. It's your ultimate home defense command center. 11. Defensive decor. Turn household items into hidden security tools. Your home's interior can be as much a part of your defense plan as your fortified doors and windows. With defensive decor, every object serves a dual purpose, blending aesthetics with practicality. Start with hidden storage furniture. Coffee tables, ottomans, and headboards with concealed compartments can store weapons, first aid kits, or even communication devices. Choose furniture made of durable materials like steel or reinforced wood to serve as makeshift barriers or shields if necessary. Mirrors and picture frames can double as concealed safes, keeping valuables secure while blending seamlessly into your home's design. Invest in fireproof and shatterproof materials for wall art and other decorations to minimize hazards during an attack or disaster. Rugs can conceal trapdoors or pressure-sensitive alarms that activate when stepped on. Lighting fixtures are another opportunity. Install motion-activated or smart-controlled lights disguised as everyday lamps or chandeliers. These can illuminate escape routes or blind an intruder. Even bookshelves can be defensive. Create a hidden compartment bookshelf that slides open to reveal a fortified panic room or escape tunnel. For kitchens, consider multi-use utensils. Heavy-duty cast-iron pans and knives double as weapons, while rolling pins and cutting boards can be repurposed for self-defense in close quarters. In living spaces, keep disguised weapons such as tactical pens, cane swords, or umbrella knives easily accessible. Defensive decor ensures that every element of your home has a role in keeping you safe, hidden in plain sight, but ready when needed. 12. Tactical entry point. Redirection. Guide intruders where you want them. One of the most overlooked but effective strategies in home defense is entry point redirection, manipulating the flow of intruders to keep them away from critical areas and into zones you control. This is a chess game, where you strategically funnel threats into predictable choke points. Begin by securing primary entry points with high visibility deterrents, such as reinforced doors, barred windows, and visible cameras, while leaving secondary entry points less obviously fortified. These secondary points should be the ones you want intruders to target. Once they breach these redirected areas, have layered defenses waiting for them. For instance, create kill zones, spaces where intruders are exposed to multiple cameras, lights, and barriers. Use furniture or architectural elements to limit their movement, forcing them to follow a path where you can monitor or trap them. Inside, use false pathways to mislead intruders. For example, place a visible but locked safe in an accessible area, wasting their time while the real valuables remain hidden elsewhere. Hidden trip alarms and noise generators placed along these paths alert you to their location while keeping them distracted. For homes with staircases, install collapsible steps or barricade gates that can be activated remotely, making it impossible for an intruder to reach the upper floors. In hallways, use strategically placed mirrors to create the illusion of space, leading them toward decoy areas while you remain unseen. Redirecting intruders ensures they never reach your family or valuables, all while giving you control over the confrontation. 13. Hidden compartments and concealed storage, your secret arsenal. Sometimes the best defense isn't what's in plain sight. It's what's hidden in the shadows, waiting to turn the tide in your favor. Concealed storage is a critical aspect of home defense, allowing you to hide weapons, supplies, or valuables in plain sight while keeping them readily accessible in a crisis. Start by integrating hidden compartments into common household features. For instance, staircase risers can be converted into secret drawers, while hollowed-out door frames or walls can house firearms, knives, or pepper spray. In the kitchen, create concealed caches in false backs of cabinets or beneath countertop overhangs. Even ordinary appliances like microwaves or refrigerators can have hidden compartments added behind or underneath them. For living areas, false-bottom furniture such as coffee tables or ottomans is invaluable. These allow you to store ammunition, first aid kits, or defensive tools without disrupting your home's aesthetic. Take it further by installing wall safes disguised as electrical outlets or vent covers. These hide valuables or important documents in spots no intruder would think to check. If you're particularly crafty, consider creating dual-purpose decor, such as clocks, picture frames, or bookcases that double as lockboxes. Even behind large mirrors or paintings, you can construct accessible safes with quick-release mechanisms. For firearm owners, invest in quick-access gun safes embedded into nightstands, under beds, or even in headboards. These keep weapons secure from children or guests while ensuring they're available in seconds if needed. Don't overlook outdoor concealed storage. Bury waterproof, airtight containers around your property to store backup supplies, weapons, or valuables. By turning your home into a labyrinth of hidden defenses, you ensure that even if intruders breach your first line, they won't find what they're looking for, giving you the ultimate advantage. 14. Tactical flooring. Turn your floors into defense assets. Most intruders don't pay attention to the ground beneath their feet, which makes tactical flooring an ingenious and underutilized defensive strategy. Start with noisy flooring materials in key areas of your home. Replace carpets or soft flooring with gravel pathways, loose wooden planks, or creaky laminate. The sound created by an intruder's footsteps can act as an early warning system, even in the dead of night. For high-traffic entry zones, integrate pressure-sensitive floor panels that trigger alarms, lights, or even pepper spray dispensers. These can be cleverly disguised under rugs or tiles, making them impossible to detect. Another option is anti-slip coatings or slick finishes in certain areas of your home, such as narrow hallways or stairwells. When an intruder tries to rush through, they'll lose their footing, giving you critical seconds to act. If you want to go high-tech, install vibration detecting systems beneath your flooring. These detect movement and send alerts to your phone or security system, allowing you to monitor activity in real time. For DIY solutions, consider embedding spike strips or caltrops under rugs or mats in vulnerable areas. These can deter or injure intruders while leaving your family unharmed if they know where to avoid. For upper floors, reinforce staircases with materials that creak loudly under weight, and consider installing collapsible or retractable steps to cut off access entirely. In basements, trapdoor systems can redirect intruders into confined spaces or false exits. Tactical flooring transforms an overlooked part of your home into a vital layer of defense, slowing down threats and giving you the upper hand. Thank you for watching.